All right. We are going to talk about these $500 plus per month car payments. The reason that you cannot start your business. I've been talking about the American addiction to credit. And many people are addicted to credit, and it's not because they are using that money, that credit, to start a business. That's actually low percentage activity. They're using this credit to buy homes, to buy cars, to buy clothes, for student loans. And this is why you can't start your business, because of this $500 car payment. You can't level it up because so much of your consumable income is spoken for. It's already gone. And I've been thinking about this because anytime I start talking about paying cash, I get a whole contingency of people who say it is best to use credit. And, because one of the things is like, hands down, I've been paying cash for cars for years. I get my cars cheaper because once you spend that cash, and you put that cash down, the car is paid for. There is no more money coming out of your wallet, your checking account, nothing. It is a done deal. And there are these financial geniuses who try to arbitrage, like they got something over here going on, which is why they would never pay cash for a car, because they're taking this money and they're making X amount of money. And this is part of the addiction. This is the reason that most people don't have money. I'm going to tell you something that used to be common in this country. It could be common for someone making $12,000 a year. A couple, 12, he makes 12, she makes 8. They make $20,000 a year. These people would save up 10, 15K to buy their first home. Just didn't spend their money. And this is where we got to get back to, because I try to teach you guys exactly what I did. And a lot of you guys want something more exotic, something more trendy, something more Bitcoinish. But I'm not going to do that, because I'm going to continue to give you the solid, irrevocable principles to making money. You got to spend less than you have coming in. This is the reality. You got to spend less money, because the thing is, I was watching this podcast, Earn Your Leisure, and this is a guy that had a trucking company, and he's got 11 trucks, and he said something very powerful. He just started spending money on himself this year. For every entrepreneur, there comes a moment when you're sitting at your desk, you're going through your accounts, and you're like, damn, that's a lot of money over there. All the bills are paid? What? All the employees are paid? You realize that you've crossed that line where you can ball a little bit. You can ball a little bit. And it's such a powerful, amazing feeling to know that you have generated this stuff, that you've created this business that has created all of this income, serving all of these customers and serving you. And, once again, I'm going to, because the last few days, I've been just chilling and just thinking about this car thing. How did so many people fall into this trap? I'm trying to figure out why I didn't really fall into the trap. My first car, I actually put money down. I think I put 20% down. I had a car payment for 3 years of like $250. So First Sergeant Branch, he said, go ahead and I want you guys to get these savings bonds. You know, you buy them $100 bond would cost you $50. As it matured, then it would mature to face value. And that's what I used to put down on my car. I used those savings bonds that I've been saving for like 3 years. And that's why I had money to put down on my car. And I'm going to tell you, you guys have got to get away from credit on the personal side. I don't use my personal credit for nothing personal. It's mostly business. And if I use it for something personal, I will pay it off that day. Never use your personal credit for personal use. Never use your business credit for personal use. It's all business. Because you understand, because this is what you're doing, using your personal credit to get this car loan for 72 months. You know how 72 months. You got a car payment for 72 months. And if you look at your contract, you see all the interest is front loaded. So even if you halfway through the deal, wake up and say, I'm gonna pay this car off early, you still paid an astounding amount of interest. 72 months for a car loan is asinine. Having car payments and you make six figures, it's stupid. You make six figures and you got car payments? You a couple with 2 car payments and you making 6 figures? That's stupid. You got to understand the value of cash. You've got to understand that cash is very, very valuable. You got people like credit is king and all this other stuff. Cash is king. I should say having the judicious use of cash is king. Because right now, today I was looking at a house up in Michigan, 4-bedroom, 1 bath, 105. That house would be $260, $270 down here in Atlanta. It's crazy. And I'm being very judicious before I just jump into this real estate thing and start rehabbing. Because I'm seeing a lot of people who've gotten caught up and they started trying to rehab a house and they ran out of money. And they trying to sell it. There's one guy, he's trying to sell his house for $160, says it needs $30K more rehab work. He clearly doesn't know what he's doing. He should have been able to do the rehab on that for $35. So his costs ran over. He did some stuff wrong. He probably over rehab. And I'm just like, I'm being very, very careful with this wild, wild market. Your boy Rich just bought an app off the Flipper, integrated with ads from AdSense. Every time someone plays, I get paid digital asset. Hey, I mean, there's a million and one ways to make money. Matt Gershom, people don't understand how powerful starting a business can be. Exactly. They're afraid of it. There are a lot of people like, I want a business. They are afraid of the responsibility. Sports Guru, can you tell us how to get the cash? LOL. Easy to say when you have cash. But what about when you don't have it? Change your damn ways. If you don't have any cash and you have a job, it's because you got a spending problem. You spend too much damn money on bullshit. That's how you get cash. You go on a financial diet, and I'm not going to spend any dollars on any trash. I'm going to go into the movies. I'm not eating out. I'm going to save every dollar that I don't have to spend this month. That's how you get cash. It's called discipline. Because, I saw this comment. It was talking about, when I was like, I know this sounds crazy, but right now there's some Mexicans living down the street from you with 15 to 100K cash up in their apartment, and there's 7, 8 of them. Once you get used to cash and how cash operates, it is not that hard to save. Mexicans, you ever deal with a Mexican? If you don't meet their price, they don't buy. They walk away because they know the power of cash. So, sports guru, that's how you get cash. You have discipline. You stop spending money on bullshit. You stop spending money on stuff you don't need. You stop having a gym membership and you don't go to the gym. You stop having subscriptions to these internet protocols that you don't use. Marvelous marketing man is not buying another car until I can pay cash for it again. Hey man, that is a good promise to keep to yourself. So, one of the things that you guys got to understand, like I've saved up like $180,000 in 3 months by just tracking my cash better. And once again, many people look at me and it's like, hey, Glenda, you got a high income. You've been in business for years. But the thing you don't see is the years that I was not making any money, the years that I was broke, the years that, because I used to be just like you. I used to do stupid stuff like pawn CDs, pawn DVDs, car pawn, title loans and all this other stuff. I used to do that stupid stuff. And for me to get from a position of never having any money, I remember I was going to get my check at Northside Hospital and I ran out of gas for my daughter in the car because the fuel gauge was messed up. I didn't have enough money. I had to go get my check, go to the bank, cash it so I could have some gas money. I was broke. Broke. And the change began in the boarding house. Because one of the things is, when you poor, everything's a hard decision. Am I going to eat today or am I going to have a place to sleep tonight? Am I going to do this or am I going to do this? Everything boils down to these very important decisions because you're dealing with very scarce resources. So I got me another job and I saved every penny of it. And that's how I started to actually have money in my life again. The second job, all this money went to savings account. And that's how I moved into the house in East Point because I got the job at Rent-A-Crate, but I didn't get paid for 3 weeks. But doing that, I learned, I was like, oh man, this job's cash is dedicated for this account. And it's stacked up. Well, Edward Anderson, the average total cost outlay of a $500 plus car note in gas and insurance is $800 to $1,000 a month. Most of America makes $32K a year. That's a big hit. Oh man, I put this content out on the storage auction stuff. Black Caesar, I wish you had put this content out before I got this car loan. Even though I'm not strapped for cash, I have savings. I try to limit my spending. You want to pay that car off as quick as possible. Edward Anderson, doing the right shit is boring, and that's what people fail to realize. Amen, amen, amen. Because every time, like I said, I start talking about cash for cars, there's these people who come from out of nowhere like, oh no, the way to get the best prices with financing. If you are financing anything, you're paying additional money because there's this thing called interest. Also, you got the dudes that work multiple jobs but not value a job that has unlimited overtime. I've never understood that thought process. People don't understand money, man. Sports guru, what about student loans? That's kind of a dual thing because typically these kids have no idea what they're signing up for. They just sign away. You give an 18-year-old $100,000 in student loans, but wouldn't give this kid a $5,000 signature loan. Hello? You got all of this stuff that's going on with people right now. Mayor's Coins, how do you feel about silver and gold as an investment? Um, you would need water and bullets before you need silver and gold. Well, the whole goal is to walk the other dealership lot, lay down that cash or that cashier's check, and drive off with your car paid for before you leave the lot. Because that's something I've done a lot, and that's just the way that I roll. And I don't, because the next car I get will be paid for in cash, or it will be a lease. Now, hear me and hear me well. If you're leasing a car for your business, that whole lease payment is a tax write-off. Now, I just, because I was thinking about leasing the 911, and I really thought about it, and it's like, you don't really drive nowhere, man. I got two cars. I put maybe 6,000 miles a year on both of them. So that car would be pretty much just sitting most of the time. And it didn't make any sense, so I didn't do it. But if you're going to lease a car in your business name, whatever that lease payment is per month, you get to write that whole thing off. And that's the only way that I would finance a car. That would be it. Because right now, you guys got to go on a financial diet. Like, Patrick Cato, you're at like $800 a month when you factor in gas. That's the true cost of owning that car. Gas and maintenance. I mean, the student loan thing is just set many kids up for failure. Many kids didn't know what they were getting into. No one really explained to them that you're going to have this debt that can grow even though you're paying on it because you're not paying enough on it. I've seen many people tweet and like, my student loan balance was $38,000. I then paid $20,000. Now my student loan balance is $45,000. Tell me, how is this a good thing? People don't have any clue to how financing works. They don't have any clue to what is going on. And, for you guys who are looking for funding, I'm going to give you a funding source here. If you are married, I want you to go home tonight and talk to your wife and say, look, babe, we need to go on a financial diet. We're going to live on whoever makes the most money, that's what you're going to live on. And you're going to use that second income to get rid of debt. And then once you get rid of debt, you're going to save that income. When I was in the military, there was this couple, school teachers, that came in there because he was part of the military for a minute and he had some benefits. And this couple bought real estate. And how they bought real estate, they were both teachers. They used her income to buy the real estate. They would just save every check. No cookies and ice cream, no McDonald's, just a whole check, go in the bank. And whenever it got to enough that they could buy a house, they would buy a house. This couple had 14 houses paid off, cash flowing. So they were living life good, and they were not millionaires. They were not millionaires. They had great cash flow. They had solid financial fundamentals. Yeah, I mean, nothing's, you could call up and ask for all type of concessions with, these people. But the thing is, you're going home tonight, talking to your wife, and y'all going to have a written budget. You're going to write down everybody that you owe, And then you're going to start taking lunch to work. No more eating out. Because if you want to start this business, because I started all my businesses through organic funding. I never had to take out a loan to start a business. Let me say that again. I never had to take out a loan to start a business. There's a way that you can start a business, get it going, get money coming in, and then reinvest dividends back into the business. I never took out a loan to start a business. Ever. So this is why I have such a different mindset about this. Would it be better to consolidate student loans into one payment? Green Machine, the best thing you can do if you can get them to lower your interest rate and consolidate them to one payment. Good Lord, Edward. AJJ Poe, Robert and Kim Kiyosaki weren't millionaires when they first attained financial freedom. What's up, Walter White? So, the cash thing, because unlike Dave Ramsey, I do believe in using credit cards, but I believe in making the credit cards your servants, not you their servant. I don't spend on it just to get points. I don't spend any money I don't plan on spending. I mean, the interest is no joke. Like if you look at the traditional car loan and you look at the interest schedule, you will see that if your car payment is 506, $480 is going to interest. Poof, just like that. BP Thomas Trucking. These new SUVs and pickups are brand new, like 50 to 70K. Most people buying them barely make that in a year. I don't understand that. Oh, half of the people buying those trucks don't make that in a year. The average single person income is 28 to 35K a year. And this is why you get a couple. This is why Miss Ann got a sign on the car loan with Joe Lee, because he don't make enough income to get this truck. So this is why their house is in both their names. This is why their cars are in both their names, because they need that to play this credit card game. So one of the things is, if you want to have some cash in your life, you're going to have to practice some financial discipline, because just because the folks next door are doing it, don't mean that you have the folks next door's lifestyle. You don't know what those folks are doing. Like my neighbors here, they pay cash for their house and they're renovating it, and they're paying cash for the renovations. And I don't even think they sold their old house. So once again, America's coming to this really strange place where stuff is costing so much more than what the average person makes that it's crazy. Go to Ron Wills. He had a video where it was like 700,000 black men make $70,000 a year. 2020 F-350. BP Tummix, exactly. That's nice, but damn, that's crazy. I can buy a used semi for that and make $1,300 a month for profit. Well, see, you a businessman. You look at those numbers differently than the average consumer. When they see those big old pretty trucks, they're like, oh, that truck is so pretty. That's all they see. They don't see that you can put that money into a truck. John, go back and watch this video. Yeah, because essentially, one of the big things that has happened is that people don't make money in this country. There's certain groups of people who make money, but the average person doesn't make money. And this is problematic for future prosperity because, if people made money, it would be so easy to start businesses. You got a lot of people to looking for information. Like I asked a guy, he got all butt hurt because he's like, he spoke for 14 minutes, but he didn't tell me what I need to know. And I said, that's a paid product, player. If you don't want to pay, stop. You're begging. Just straight up. Yeah, like, trucking companies, because, this morning I got up and I went to the grocery store and I just saw all these dudes, because it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. All of these dudes were on these pallet jacks and stuff. And I estimate that at least 4 or 5 trucks brought all that stuff in. And we are so interdependent upon trucking that if trucks did not run in this country for a week, these stores would be empty. A lot of stuff would be gone. When you say 700K black men made, that's actually bad. There's 14 million black men. Well, let's see, I forget. It's like 22, I think it's like 20 million black men. It's very bad because that means most black men don't make jack. I mean, I'm an anomaly. I mean, for me to, if I was just making 100K, I would be an anomaly. But when I walk in the door and I'm like, I make enough money that I could buy houses every year, cash money, that's a whole different animal. And, my mindset and the way that I deal with people, I understand my position of being very rare in the world. You can get pre-emission semi for 35 to 60K. Yeah, because the guy who was on Earn Your Leisure was talking about, you can buy a used truck for 45, 50K, get it making money. Black Caesar, the debt stories on Dave's Ramsey Show are unbelievable. I remember when he was talking to a couple who had a mortgage payment, 2 car loans with 1 income. Oh, yeah. So, once again, and this is what I keep telling y'all, forget that you black. Go out and be the best man that you can be and imagine and just see how the world treats you. Because these people who say, you black, you're going to be treated a certain way. It simply ain't true. It's just simply not true. Go out, provide the best service that you can to the world. Let that black label go. You'd be surprised. Your boy Rich paid $5,500 cash for my truck. You winning, man. You winning. That's winning. Oh, I know I'm rare. I know it. Because I don't meet many people like me. So it really depends on your mindset, how you are properly positioned to make money. It depends upon the way that you see your worldview. Made that money back in 2 weeks. Goonies girl, your dad was correct. Because see, this is the thing, and this is one of the reasons that most of America is broke is the fundamental lack of understanding of how money works. Because most people would rather to actually do the right thing. As Edward Anderson said, doing the right thing is just boring. You come home, your cash. That is not as boring as going to the strip club and balling. I just want to ball, man. Because, I've been in strip clubs when I've seen these dudes come in here, and you can see it as soon as they walk in. You see this guy, he's about to drop a lot of money. He's just too happy. And this notion of balling for attention is, I think, some unfulfilled need for love and affection that you didn't get for the parents. Because even, I was always the cheap dude in the strip club. I would always bird dog off some other dude. I just did not see the point in spending all of that money for this trick to play games with me. All right, so you got a nice booty, you got nice breasts, you rub them on me and I give you money. That just never really worked for me. Yeah, a lot of people are not progressive, Edward Anderson, because, if you're a man and you marry this woman, you have a children, you should not be looking for the best black neighborhood for you to grow up in. You should be looking for the best neighborhood. That decision to buy that house influences their friends, their options, their career choices, and how they grow up. But a lot of people like, I gotta keep it black, man. I need to be around some more black folks. Why? If you were around some elite, educated, awesome black folks, okay, I feel that. But just being around hood people, that makes no sense. You should go ahead and get to the best house in the best neighborhood of your ability. Oh yeah, man. White supremacy. I mean, if you look at what happens to the average white man, suicide rates, opioid addiction. His wife takes his kids and financially rapes him. That's been over for a long time, but you still got some people like Tone Talks and Yvette Carnell talking about the wealth gap and all this other thing. I've actually looked at it. The average white person doesn't have any real wealth. You got a lot of them that do, but compare, they don't have any wealth. Green machine sit between the ballers throwing money. $500 could cover Big Booty's Betty's student loans. Imagine the tricking potential. That's funny. Also, for you guys who are into tricking, if you know how to deploy your money, you can get the best of the best for the less right now. The price of poontang has gone down to an all-time low. All-time low. But it's really about sitting down and deciding what you want to do with your money. Because I worked with this girl who was a CNA, a certified nurse assistant. I mean, I made probably twice what she made, but she had more cash on me because she had very good savings habits, because she went out and bought paid cash for a car, and we were all like shocked. And she just got in the habit of saving money, for years. I mean, it is just crazy what happens. Greyhound bus ticket and an Uber ride. Right now, America's going through some changes, And the next 2 cycles are going to determine a lot of things. Because if you are well to do, you have no debt, you have high cash flow, the things you're going to be able to pull off are going to be incredible. But if you're struggling, your struggle is going to become greater because your options are going to run out. And this is why I believe that every man needs to start a business as soon as possible, because this is the only thing that's going to lift you from the normalcy. Like the things that you get when you start a business and you really work on the business, you're not trying to start something to flex or stunt, is, let's take banking. What will happen to you with banking? Like, this is funny. The guy on the Earn Your Leisure with the truck say, he says his banker harasses him. You sure you don't want this line of credit? Because see, when a bank, and I've talked about this before, but I've talked about this to people who've never had any money. When your bank sees you consistently putting cash in that bank, they're going to start throwing all kinds of stuff at you. Because they know you. It's like, you got a good business. I remember when I was taking out, I remember the first time I had $1 million in the bank. And I remember, and like, I looked like a bum. I had, I was in the storage auction business, and we just had like 5 really good months where money was just stacking up. I was getting good buys and had like $1,080,000 in the bank. And I remember when I went to the ATM machine and I pulled it out and I saw that. I mean, it was like, damn, I got $1 million in the bank. How the people at the bank attitudes changed toward me. Hello, Mr. Cameron. How you doing? Could we interest you in a line of credit? The total vibe and everything. And every bank that I've gone to, when I've been putting in different numbers, I could tell that they've been checking my account. Let's see. Yoga, you're a fucking fool. This is one of the reasons your broke ass don't have any money. You spend more time on who's cooning, who's not cooning, versus putting your nose to the grindstone, creating a business, and getting some damn money. And that's why your ass is in timeout. Cooning. Fuck you. You little dirty bastard. You little broke dick bastard. You don't have no fucking money. This cooning shit, this is one of the reasons that damn black folks don't have no money, because there was a certain way that a black person must act, walk, and answer to not be considered a coon. You are limited. You'll never have anything, and I pray to God you don't have any kids, because you're going to fuck them up. The trainer at my job made a white guy quit because he couldn't take me a critique. BK from the Rockies. Hey, when they see you got money. Oh, he's gone, Agent J. Poole. And see, this is what I'm talking about. We haven't really gone in the race, and it's so easy to trigger these tender-hearted little pussies by just acting like I'm going to say it again. Forget that you're a black man and go in and be the best man you can be and see what happens. There's so many of you who are so scared to be real men, to be powerful men, to be accomplished men, to be men that have done some shit with their life, that I start speaking like that. Whoa. Yo, Glendon, no. We here for the comedy. We're here for the knowledge. We ain't here to try to be responsible and accountable. That's why I enrolled on that dude, because part of this whole cooning move, You know who the real coons are? The real coons are the people who don't start businesses and who don't fight for economic freedom. Those are the real coons. Because when you get some money, when you can speak the language of finance, when your banker knows your first name, you got a totally different life than somebody out there who's a coon, who ain't cooning. Oh no, he got what he needed. And you know what's funny? The sad trick will keep watching this channel, even though I cussed him out. Because see, we're sitting here talking about important stuff. You got to change your financial habits. And this is lost on the coon that he is, because we got this dude, Arden Bowden. He don't make a lot of money, but he's saving $1,000 a month. He has his own car. He lives by himself. He's bought into the program. I feel the same way trying to raise other people's consciousness when they clearly don't want it or their lifestyle raised. I'm here for the benefits. Walter White, some minds are so poor they can only inspire pity. Appliance Boot Camp. The bank, Square, PayPal, and all the merchant account service was called, email, and beg you to take their money. They would beg more than the meth head. Pretty much, because I can get up to like 200,000 for PayPal right now. And this is something else. This is another thing. You know, thanks for bringing this up, Appliance Boot Camp. Square, PayPal, QuickBooks. If you're using their services and you're running money through there, they're going to throw money at you. You know, for a lot of you people who are trying to fund stuff, I mean, you like, and this is about getting your business solid. Let's say you get up to a $200,000 PayPal capital loan. You go out and buy a piece of property with that, pay it back over time. Once that loan's paid back, go out and get another one, get you another piece of property. You are organically funding your real estate empire. And this is, you know, I mean, you know, like PayPal, Stripe, if you've got your business really rolling, you could get a lot of money from these companies. I remember one of my clients, they had the Chase Bank offered them $1 million pre-approved loan because of the volume they were running through these accounts. And I keep talking about this, and people don't want to hear it because you can't fake the money going through your account. You can't go in and put on a smile and say, "Ooh, I got this good credit score." When they see this money, when they see that money, they come at you differently. They come at you totally differently because you're such a safe bet. They know that, you know, that you have the ability to repay. And I keep talking about this on one of my videos, why you need a $100,000 credit card. I keep talking about the ability to repay. And a lot of people are butthurt because it's like, this ain't for the average man. I didn't say it was for the average man. I'm trying to make you less average. I'm trying to make you exceptional. I don't want you to be average. I want you to enjoy a higher lifestyle. I want you to have more fun. I want you to have more money. I don't want you to be average. So once you get your cash, and you know, because like seriously, a lot, you know, going back to the financial diet, a lot of people need to go home to the wife. It's like, we're going on a diet. From this moment on, we're not going to spend money on anything we don't need. We're going to get rid of all these credit cards. We're going to get rid of these car payments. And we're going to live on some cash. Charles Hall, with great power comes great responsibility. When you make more than the next person, you have some type of power, especially when you have continuous income. So, to you unbelievers, stop hating and let. I want that power. There is a certain level of power knowing that you have enough money in the bank to go out and do whatever you want to do. If I wanted to go tour Iceland, I could do that right now because I've got like separate accounts, and one account is overflowing because it gives you options. And I've been saying this for a long time. I don't live at the top of my income. I live on 6 to 8% of my income. That's the new thing, you know. And also, one of the things that I used to do, and I need to start doing this, was I would make the money that I was going to live on next year, this year, park it in the bank, so I already know what my expenses, you know, how much money I had for expenses, regardless of what the business did. So we're going to be talking about that. I'm going to introduce some new training because we really need to work on this. And I've been looking at Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey has built an extremely profitable business teaching people how to manage money. That's all he does. And I'm just sitting there because that's just kind of part of it. You know, I do a little credit, I do a little business stuff. And I'm going to start really, really pushing this because, you know, let's say you and Miss Sally, you make $50,000, your wife makes $50,000. If you save her whole check, which would be $39,000 a year, for 3 years, you could buy your first piece of rental property, cash money. And you just keep saving her checks. Now, I would advise using a little business debt for the business, but I would not get so leveraged that I can't breathe. Charlie Key from 20 in American, but I study in England. I'm doing business. Should I drop out? You got to ask yourself, should you drop out? Don't be asking me those kind of questions. Anthony Montgomery, Blackstone Group has been buying as much warehouse space as they can since 2010 because they know e-com is the future. Physical stores will be a thing of the past. I plan on getting a warehouse. Oh, man, I could have predicted that. I've told people from day one of this channel, don't open up a store. Open up a warehouse and sell online. Cash will always be king. I agree. Eric Williams, it takes courage and sacrifice. People are afraid to commit. It's easy to say their wife or husband are holding them back. I mean, you know, if you sit down, because, you know, my situation is different. If I ever, you know, get with anyone, that money will not even be an issue. But I would still sit down to her and I'm like, look, you know, you need to save your whole income and we're going to invest that. Freddie Paper, but if you're renting a car, not just upside down. How do you just sell it? What do you mean you're renting a car? If you're renting a car, you don't own it. Jesse, do you think the housing market will drop significantly or just, I think it will correct slightly. Housing is super hot right now. So one of the things that has to happen is you have to look at your relationship with money. You have to look at how you view money. Because money is just merely a tool. And let me just check out something. Today, Dave Ramsey is one of America's most trusted sources for financial advice. His syndicated radio program, The Dave Ramsey Show, is among the top 5 talk radio shows in the United States and is heard by 13 million listeners each week on more than 600 radio stations. With his estimated net worth of $55 million. $55 million. Talking about the same thing over and over again. How to manage your money. How to stay out of debt. And see, I have a whole different tactic. I believe in money management, but I also believe in the power of making more money. So I'm going to change up my message a little bit. That's funny, Mr. Urban World. That is hilarious. So, for those of us who want to have that different kind of life, because, essentially, as a business owner, you're making a lot of decisions. And as a person, you need to make a lot of better decisions with your money because, like this house is $4,000 a month. That seems extreme, but the last place was $3,400 per month. Plus I had 2 offices, which were $2,500 per month. So by moving everything in here, I'm actually saving like $2K a month. And this is how a business owner thinks. It's like, oh, okay, because I got all this room, I got all this cameras and equipment. I think Dave Ramsey mentions it. Yeah, he did. Green Michonne, I went back to college to get ready for the automation wave that's going to destroy many low-level jobs. I mean, money, to harness the power of money is a life-changing thing. My Facebook ads are not going because something weird was happening. And probably because we're going in the 4th quarter, that I would launch an ad and it would do a certain thing that it would like literally double and triple in price. And I was like, good Lord. And it was just, so I'm not currently running any Facebook ads right now. I'm not running any ads. Philip Hudson, I've been noticing on Zillow that property taxes keep going up on homes every year. So many people are fascinated by the pictures. They don't look at the taxes. One of the things I do is I look and see what the person paid for the house. I look at the prices because, these flippers, man, they going for home runs. Purchased the house this year for $89,000. Now trying to sell it for $250,000. You did not put $100K of rehab in that. You did not. So you got a lot of stuff that's going on. But, we're going to start talking about money. Because once you get control of your money, you get control of your life. The money you make determines where you live. I want you to really think about that. Because, you get a lot of people who get butthurt, like, oh, every time I put one of the rich people of Atlanta videos and all these nice houses and pools and stuff, people get butthurt. That ain't the message for you to be jealous. The message is to know that you can have that one day if you want to. That's the message. That's the inspiration. Because where you live determines so many things. Oh, Mr. Urban World, there's a guy on YouTube that started off with selling fire sticks. Now he buys a new one. Yeah, I think that's going to get kind of old. Because, it's fun to see him buying these cars and stuff. But I would be more interested on how he makes his money, which he doesn't really get into a lot. Doesn't get into details. The Mitchell experience. Would you recommend someone in their 30s go back to finish college to get in position for the change of time? No, I think I would recommend that you start a business ASAP. Anthony Montgomery, saving money work for our parents and their parents. Most people who think they need to save money really need to earn more. Once you earn more, you need to invest across varying time frames and risk levels. Well, I will go ahead and agree with that, because the thing is, the first thing is to manage your money. The second thing is to make more. Oh, yeah. I mean, the channel grew very quickly and stuff, and people like it. But I would be more interested in, what are you doing to make all this money that you can buy these $200,000 to $500,000 cars just like this? Because, once the thing is, and that's one of the things I think that people really like to see is flash. I'm going to buy a Bentley Continental. That video is going to get more views than how to start a business for under $10,000. People are like, I don't want to start no business, man. I don't want to start no business, man. I just want to ball. I just want to have fun. I want to have a low stress, chilling life. I don't want to struggle. I just want to have money I don't really want to do anything, man. And this is where most people are, in that lackadaisical, weird space. I mean, that's what most people are. How do you start a business if you don't have any money? Sports Guru, service business. You can start a service business right now, today, with $0. And that's a limiting mindset. I need to have money to start a business. No, you don't. Pretty much the Mitchell experience. Just smells so good. It's true. A car is a huge expense. Had to slow down my Facebook ads because so many people. Yeah, man. Wasn't getting the juice for the money. I would not want all that attention. The Mitchell experience. I want to start a business, just trying to figure out my lane to dominate. One of the things you want to do is to get started. If you have an idea for something, just get started. Just get started, start talking to people, trying to sell a product, because you can only figure so much out in your mind, and you're going to need to do things. You just got to get started, because chicken sandwiches can make you a millionaire. Chicken sandwiches, man. And it's just a matter of understanding who you are and where you fit into the continuum, because if you want to make more money, you got to want it. You got to want it bad. Sports Guru, what's the service business? All right. Plumbing, roofing, heating, electrical, landscaping, housekeeping, remodeling, painting. Dog sitting, picking up groceries, hauling off trash from someone's houses. There are so many service businesses. What I want you to do is go to Google, put in the word, what is a service business? And go down the list. Service business can get you paid this week. A service business can get you money this week. So that's what it is with a service business. Damon, the tax benefits from owning real estate alone offset the real estate taxes you pay up front. Looking up bonus depreciating. Oh, yeah. No, I don't do any local meetups. Stack the Flipper. Manage your money alone, I think, is for seniors. Stack the Flipper, I disagree. You need to learn how to manage your money at whatever age you are, because if you don't manage your money well, regardless how much money you make, you're going to screw it up. Yeah, you got to get something started. And everybody, I need to have this chat with y'all. Stop being a scared little pussy, because this is one of the biggest reasons that so many people don't move forward. They're scared to take a shot. They're scared to start something. They're scared to do something because it may not work out. Afraid to ask this girl out because she may say no. Don't be a coward. Pretty much. All right. So this is the little chit chat today. Creative thinking. A buddy of mine was working at a bakery, got frustrated and quit. He walked down the street covered in flour and approached the store offering power washing of awning. They agreed and gave him a deposit. Johannes, if you know yourself well, then you are what you are. Because a lot of people are scared little pussies. Like, I ain't gonna start no business because I may fail. If that's your mindset, yes, indeed, you're a scared little pussy. Because nothing great will ever come to you with that mindset. Nothing will be fortunate or fabulous for you if you like go in half scared. Like, I will tell you this story. I remember when I got my first job at selling office furniture. It was the first time in my life I ever had a job like that. It was clean. I wore, business casual or shirt and tie. And I went in and I realized that I was not going to see a lot of people like me. And I made a decision. Am I going to go in here with this baggage, trying to influence these people to come around my way of thinking, or I'm going to come in here and get their money? I'm going to go ahead and get this money. So I refused to see myself as a black salesman. At the time, there was only 5 of us in town. And I was like, whenever I didn't get the job, I would send them a polite letter and say, hey, could you tell me where I messed up? And that made me better and better. And people told me, and it wasn't because I was black. And a few I was able to get back in because of that letter. And I enjoyed unparalleled success in my life because I refused to see myself as black. My goal was to be the best man I could be. And I'm going to keep telling you guys this because you walk into these situations with these labels that are not going to help you get that money. And this isn't because you're not proud that you're black, but it's just pointless. It's stupid. And that's how I ended up with a $380,000 check in my hand. I was like, good Lord. And this is how I continue to make strides and progress to this day. Just smells so good. We have an overage of housing in Florida, and it seems that we're going to have a lot of abandoned housing in Florida. Wow. Smooth is smooth. In coding boot camp now so I can get in the web development service, which is way also a service business. Start something that you can get some cash money in your hands right now and continue to go to school. Because see, the thing is, you don't have to do either or. You can always do both, 3 things, 4 things. All right. I will see you guys later. Peace, love, and hair grease until the next message.